global savior and cognitively supreme Joe Biden is traveling to the Middle East in order to ease tensions between Israel and Gaza by pushing for humanitarian aid in Gaza. That's if he can get off the plane without falling down the steps or accidentally calling Benjamin Netanyahu Yasser Arafat. Yes, I'm afraid Jeff is still a little bit ill, so I'm standing in once again. Right, according to that news source, The Guardian, that brilliant, balanced news source. Yeah, okay. The juvenile follicle scent expert, Joe Biden, is to travel to Israel for urgent talks, and then he's going to travel further afield in the Middle East to, and I quote, Amman for talks with Jordan's King Abdullah, the Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, and the Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas in an attempt to fend off an even greater humanitarian disaster and a regional war that could draw in Iran and the US. End of quote. That specific choice of Middle Eastern leaders and their geographical proximity to Israel, okay, it does say that they're obvious choices for humanitarian aid, but it does not suggest he's really meeting for any peace talks, rather than to find out exit routes and possible population redistribution for Palestinians, and even possibly for Israelis should the Israeli advance turn sour. Oh yes, that might be an eventuality if Israel finds itself facing defeat. But not to worry, I'm sure Joe Biden's brilliant skills as a battlefield tactician will come in very handy for the Israelis, especially when it comes to withdrawal. He did a brilliant job in Afghanistan, didn't he? Yeah. At a time when the West needs strong leaders, it gets a senile hater of the West as US president, open door Emmanuel Macron, and I'm sitting on a lily pad Rishi Sunak. Out of that lot, Sunak sounds like the strongest. And that says a lot, doesn't it, really? Yeah. Rishi Sunak, the strongest. How did that ever happen? I mean, we have a US president who has been the de facto fundraiser for Hamas by lifting restrictions on Iran's sale of oil and giving them billions of dollars, which, as it turns out, was not spent on infrastructure in Iran or on the welfare of ordinary Iranians, but instead went to fund munitions for Hezbollah and Hamas. That went well, didn't it? You would swear the American and the military-industrial complex that's very much part of America were trying to orchestrate an unwinnable scenario for the Israelis, because as soon as Israel goes into Gaza and then responds to attacks on its northern borders, the international community and press will turn on Israel. I've read a few of you saying, just look at how the mainstream media and the establishment are supporting Israel. That proves Israel are in the wrong. Well, by that logic, I will ask you if you will be supporting Hamas and Hezbollah when the press turns on Israel once the bombs start falling on Gaza. I also believe all bets are off as to if Israel will use its nuclear capabilities against its enemies who are entrenched above its northern borders. If Hezbollah launch hell upon Israel with its 150,000 rockets aimed at it, I can see an Israeli nuclear counterstrike occurring. I'm sorry, but I can see that as an eventuality. I don't want that to be the future, but what are they going to do if they're facing annihilation? I'm not trying to justify any nuclear strike, but I'm just looking at how these things are going to play out. And it's worrying. Yes, at that point, I can see the entire establishment and the press turning its back on Israel. It will happen. There'll be a lot of people who are very happy with that. Yeah, but then please tell me that the whole scenario is orchestrated in Israel's favor as every nation on earth withdraws its support for Israel and Israel literally becomes cut off from the rest of the world. I see no medium or long-term benefits for Israel in this conflict. A lot of you are saying, oh, this is just an excuse for them to go into Gaza. I don't see that. This is not going to work out well. Them going into Gaza is going to mean an attack from the north. What do you think that's going to mean? It's going to mean a retaliation that could turn nuclear. All these things are dragging Iran in. Iran goes in. Who else goes in? Russia. Possibly China, I don't know. Right, enough. Jeff is on the mend, and he can't wait to come back. And I can't wait for him to come back soon as well, because I want to just get on with the work we have to do on the Sunday show. So you lot keep praying for Jeff and pray for peace in the Middle East and for the innocent people on both sides who are suffering in this conflict. And leave your words of wisdom in the comment section below. And my love to you all, and God bless you all, and bye for now.